Hi, I'm Lauren, Marketing Officer at Buckinghamshire University, and I'd like to welcome you to the first of our podcast series, Ask an Apprentice. It's National Apprenticeship Week and a perfect time to celebrate all our achievements in the apprenticeship arena. And we've chosen to focus on our highly successful Registered Nurse Degree Apprenticeships. Our first cohort started in April 2018, and we have a total of 183 RNDAs on our programmes. Let's now talk to Alan Armstrong, who's currently working as a healthcare assistant for the Spire Healthcare Group while studying to be a nurse. He's not only a star apprentice and has been nominated for Skills for Health Awards twice, but is also the class rep working alongside the programme lead, Catherine Forward. Alan, can you tell me what interested you in a nursing career in the first instance and how you became involved in this career and what made you decide to pursue it?
Yeah, I mean, I started off, my career was always in sales, always. And it came to a point where I figured I might need a change, and I'd looked after, on a private basis, I'd looked after somebody for a while, and I thought, well, maybe it's not selling things to people that I like, maybe it's people. So I applied for a job that was going in a local nursing home just to test the waters and see if I liked the idea of being a healthcare assistant there. That was 8 years ago. And from there, I went and trained through MVQ qualifications, switched paths and went from the nursing home into the hospital that I work in now. Repeated a level 3 MVQ again, just to get some credits in order to be able to go for the apprenticeship that was being spoken about at the time. We had very limited places, and I was encouraged to push forward with the MVQ diploma that I was doing in order to head up for interview at it was the High Wycombe campus. So, I mean, through working through my apprenticeships, I figured that it was the next natural, logical progression in my career, obviously. So it was time to take the step forward and train.
How do you feel the degree apprenticeship is going to benefit you?
It's a progression through. It's a training course that's going to allow me to become registered. It's a huge step up from where I am to becoming a registered nurse. And not only does it help me in the short term with becoming a nurse and working on the wards where I currently work as a healthcare assistant, but it opens up avenues to work in all kinds of different sectors. I'm currently on a placement in the community that I never thought I'd enjoy, but I'm loving every second of it. I've spent a placement in theatres, which again, I absolutely adored. So not only is it going to benefit my career in the step up, the hierarchy as it were, but the levels of experience that I'm gaining from going to different placements and seeing different types of nursing is only going to benefit my long-term career because I'm getting to know what's out there.
What do you feel are some of the best skills you've gained so far?
Organisational skills, definitely. Some of the academic work that obviously was set deadlines for, you've got to be really on top of the different things that you're doing at the different stages to make sure that you can meet your deadlines and submit your work and make sure that it's of the right standard. So I've definitely learned some good time management and organisational skills because I used to be terrible. I could turn up for work on time, but that was about as far as my organisational skills would go. But I've learned so many more hands-on skills, communication skills with the patients that we see on a daily basis, and not quite skills, but the information and knowledge that I've gained has really helped, not only with seeing things and understanding things differently, but again, when communicating with patients, when they've got questions, the ability to actually be able to give a functional answer because of the training that I've received is huge. For me, it means that I don't have to go and fetch somebody else.
And how have your tutors supported you along the way? And what have the challenges been?
So the tutors that I've met have been incredible. One of the leads, Catherine Forward, she's always been a great source of information for me. We've put our heads together from time to time because I'm also a student rep for my cohort as well. So I'm usually the link between the cohort and Catherine. I've not had a huge amount of problems that I've had to put forward, but the little things that I have been dealt with so quickly. There are many, many challenges that come with being an apprentice as opposed to obviously going the UCAS route. We work full time too. We've got other demands. We often come from not only working full time, but we work in healthcare. So it's usually working longer hours through the week. We've all got families, children, financial commitments. A lot of the students that are on the apprenticeship course are mature students. So we've all got our own things going on. And it is a challenge to be able to fit in a whole degree at the same time, especially when you've got placement hours to fulfill and like I say, other obligations. If two of my first placements were in my own hospital where I work, so naturally you get called upon for other little bits and bobs because you're there and you're a familiar face and everybody knows what you do. So yeah, it comes with a whole host of challenges that you might still see on the traditional route to the degree, but I think it definitely shines in the apprenticeship approach.
So those newly acquired organisational skills have really come in useful.
Yeah, they help. They really do.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, and final question. What advice would you give to others in your situation that are considering doing the degree apprenticeship?
First and foremost, just do it. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's a big time commitment, sure, but as long as you're willing to put in the time, you're going to get something out of it at the end that might otherwise be very difficult to access or very expensive to access as well. The way that the apprenticeship route is funded obviously really, really helps anybody that's going for it, because your employer covers it. So it comes with huge benefits and not a lot to lose other than some time, which it's worth it. It's 3.5 years. But you'll have something to show at the end of that 3.5 years that is worthwhile and will last you for an entire career.
Is there anything else? I mean, have you found it particularly challenging working through a pandemic?
It has been initially making the change for everybody to work digitally instead. I mean, given that nursing in and of itself is a very hands-on practical career, then we're still struggling with the idea of how we're going to perform practical skills under supervision to obviously get signed off for things like that. But the move over to digital initially was a bit rocky. Some people had connection issues, technology issues, all of the things that I'm sure everyone across the country has experienced when all of a sudden Zoom has become the best way of communicating. But we got over those hurdles relatively quickly, and we know that we will be back at the university soon enough in person, which is going to be nice. I think the initial changeover to digital was difficult because obviously all of our tutors have got a bunch of material they need to teach us that is meant for a classroom type delivery. Doesn't always translate or work as well when you're doing it in a digital classroom. So I think everyone's kind of tweaked and moved things around a little bit to make it so that it is a more interactive classroom experience, despite the fact that you're sitting at home on your sofa with a laptop on your knee.